Alright, this is a quick video on how to build a YouTube promotional screenshot once a Hangout has already been completed and we want to build the promotional email. We want a really nice screenshot to go into the email that gives people a compelling reason to click on the image that's going to go out in the email to watch this replay. So the real value and the hardest thing and the most time-consuming thing about this particular task is finding the right screenshot, okay? So what I've done here is the first priority is if there is a guest, you always want to find a shot of the guest and you want to find a shot of them smiling. Okay, so I was able to find this screenshot here. Now obviously it took me a while to go through it. I kept my eye out while I was writing up the show notes. But otherwise you can always just scan through and look for places where people are smiling and laughing, and then you go through that, and if you need to, you do it frame by frame until you find something like this where they're looking as much right into the camera as possible and smiling. The other option is if they're looking away and smiling, that's also fine. And then the option behind that is if you have to, you can always go to one of the co-hosts like Greg McDaniel here in the bottom right and find a shot of him smiling, and that's also acceptable. But mostly we want to focus on the guest anytime there's a guest on the Hangout. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and take a screenshot of this. I'm using an application called Sketch. You can also take a full screen screenshot and then edit this down in Photoshop, but I'm using Sketch because what I'm doing is then I can just draw it right there. I want all of this in there, right? I want people to see it's on YouTube. I want people to see kind of how long it is and all this stuff. So then we're going to export this. And we're just going to save this as episode 18 screenshot A. I've already got a version of this saved, so I don't want to confuse things. But basically we'll flip over to Photoshop. And we're going to open up that image that we just exported. There it is. We're going to create a new layer, and we are going to place, and this is in the drive. I've got it also on my documents here anyway. But we're going to go in and we're going to grab, all we're looking for is just this play button here. So we're going to place that, automatically puts it right into the middle. But what we want to do is we want to make sure that people can still see that the guest is smiling. So we're going to lower the opacity to about 50% of that play button so you can still see the guest smiling through the play button. Okay. Then we're going to save that, and I've already got a version saved. So you can see I've got it saved here as episode 18 screenshot, and then I've got a JPEG version as well. So what I do is for each of these I save a Photoshop version so that I can go back and make adjustments to it later if I need to, and then I save a JPEG version, and then that's what I upload into the email. So that is how you build a really phenomenal YouTube screenshot for a Hangout that has already taken place so that you can put that into the promotional email.